case, we think it's important that you know some basic facts about the society. For those of you coming in, you may not have had a chance to look at the website or the national website. And for parents and family and friends, it's useful to have some sense of what's going on. So I'm going to ask Dr. William McCraw, who's the treasurer of the San Jose State chapter, and one of the real stalwarts of this association, of the society, and keeping it going well, to provide some introductory comments about the society's history, so that you have at least some understanding of the big picture. Bill?
Thank you, Bill. You all look so good. I can't resist saying that you don't dress up like this for class. But then, neither do we. And it's appropriate that we are all dressed in a very special way because, as you know, this is a special and unique occasion. It's a great distinction to be initiated into the Honor Society of Phi Kappa Phi, which, as you've learned, is the oldest all-discipline honor society as well as the largest in the nation. It is now celebrating its 119th year. It began in one chapter on the East Coast at the University of Maine in 1897, and today it includes chapters in all states of a total number of over 300 chapters nationwide. In the 119 years, over 1 million initiates have sat where you have sat and been welcomed into the society. As you know, you must be invited, and you must be invited because you meet special criteria. To give you some sense of how selective the society is, I could give you one statistic. You've just heard from Jan English Luak that we have currently enrolled 30,000 students at San Jose State. We have in the United States a larger college student population than at any time in our history. The total number of initiates nationwide for Phi Kappa Phi this year is expected to be approximately 30,000. I'd like to give you some idea of the roster of notable people who have sat where you are sitting tonight and have been initiated into Phi Kappa Phi and have then gone on to make their mark in a range of fields. Phi Kappa Phi, as the first all-discipline honor society, was the first honorary to recognize the new branches of knowledge that were being added to universities and to higher education as the United States changed from its 19th century base as a agricultural small-town village-centered society into the global nation that it is today, the largest and strongest economy in the world. And as you know, in virtually every area of learning, new fields have been added. Phi Kappa Phi welcomes all, and it treats all equally. It does not rank, because excellence is irrespective of your field of study. Accomplishment cuts across all lines and fields of learning. Over the 119 years is a long roster of distinguished Phi Kappa Phi members. Let me mention only a few just to give you some idea. Linus Pauling, the first American to become twice a Nobel laureate. William Howard Taft, 27th President of the United States, the first figure in history and still the only one to be President of the United States and Chief Justice of the United States. In contemporary life, we recognize the names of some of the illustrious Phi Kappa Phi members, including Associate Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg of the Supreme Court, Jimmy Carter, the 39th President of the United States, and one of the major presidential candidates in the 2016 election, Hillary Rodham Clinton. All part of the larger Phi Kappa Phi family. Now, when we speak of life after membership, recall the second of the charges or responsibilities of Phi Kappa Phi. It recognizes and promotes academic excellence in universities, as you have demonstrated. Equally, it emphasizes, as you learn in its motto, placing your knowledge to the service of humanity. And that is the expectation that the society has, and you have every potential to fulfill, to draw on what you have learned and contribute it to, as Jan English Lueck has said, to building a better world. So congratulations all. You join a large and distinguished roster of honorees, and you will add your name and make your mark to these.
Let me add a comment that, just to put a little of this in perspective for San Jose State. I think I may have heard this bit of history from Gus Leese, who was actually here then, who, as some of you may know, just celebrated his 65th year of teaching at San Jose State, which is pretty amazing. Well, when I first came onto campus 40 years ago or so, I think, Barbara, you and I came the same year. But Charlie Burdick, who was one of my mentors, an informal godparent to our 3 kids, and one of the really impressive people on this campus. But we were talking about Phi Kappa Phi, and the story goes that in 1952 or 53, when they were setting up the chapter, they went to the president at the time and said, you know, we have these choices for which honor society. And the Prima One, the brand name, still the brand name in many ways, is Phi Beta Kappa. Even people who haven't been in university settings know what Phi Beta Kappa is, or at least know that it's important. But Phi Beta Kappa is only to people who are majoring in the traditional arts and sciences. And the president at the time, was it Walquist? Jack Walquist? John Walquist? Said, we need to have an honor society. If we're going to have an honor society at San Jose State, it ought to be open to anybody in the university, no matter what their major. So just think about it. I don't know all the majors for everybody in this year's class of initiates, but if it's roughly split the way the university is, if you majored in one of the humanities and arts, or one of the social sciences, or one of the sciences, you'd be sitting here. But if you were majoring in business, or nursing, or engineering, or education, there wouldn't be a place at the table. And so I'm very grateful that the president and the faculty at the time made the decision that they wanted an honor society that would recognize excellence across the entire university. Especially since my own perspective after 40 plus years as a faculty member is that the modern liberal arts would include not only the traditional liberal arts, but it would also include the practical arts, business, engineering, education, health, etc. So before we go any further, let me turn it over to and ask Brad Stone, who's our secretary, because I think it's important to speak for a moment just about the symbolism that you'll see associated with Phi Kappa Phi, so that you have some understanding of what the society is about. Brad?